Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today we're playing with all new makeup. So a lot of this makeup was sent to me. I did purchase a couple of pieces as well. Super excited about this. This is the look that I created, which I really like. To give you a heads up, some of the products we're gonna be talking about today is the new NARS Tinted Moisturizer, a House of Sillage Disney collaboration lipstick, the Ali Glines Colourpop collaboration bundle. So I'm using this palette, that's taupe, and yeah, just a few other goodies. So if you want to learn how to get this look, then just keep on watching. Oh wait, before we do, if you're new to my channel, my name is Lisa. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I'm a former makeup artist, and actually I was a trainer for MAC Cosmetics for a couple of years. So I love teaching makeup. I love makeup, of course, but really my passion comes for teaching it. So in every video, I try to give you guys really like simple, practical tips and tricks, and I try to explain it in a way that is very easy to digest. And hopefully you walk away with some tips that help you with your makeup application. So if you're into that, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. All right, guys, let's get started. Level of pigment for a tinted moisturizer, but I'm gonna use my hands to apply this, you guys. I'm not gonna use a brush. I'm just gonna go straight from my fingertips to my face. Did not apply my mineral tinted sunscreen this morning because I knew I was gonna be applying this. So you can see that it actually gives, you know, pretty good coverage for a tinted moisturizer. It blends in really quick and easily. Yeah. It's pretty good, you guys. It's a really good kind of like, you don't want to wear foundation, but you want to even out your skin tone a little bit. If you're like me, where you have some redness or discoloration, but you don't really have, you know, a lot of blemishes or, you know, severe discoloration, it's just going to do a good job of evening things out, but really looking like moisturizer on your skin. I am considering doing a Lace MD. Have you guys heard of that? It was described to me as like a baby Fraxel treatment. I've never had a Fraxel laser treatment done. I went and had a consultation with a cosmetic dermatologist. I feel like it's time for me to start kind of getting on some type of maintenance schedule with my skin. I've done a few things. I've done a BBL treatment. I've done the VI peel in the past, but those were kind of like one-off things. I did those and I noticed an improvement in my skin, but then I never followed up with something to keep those results. And I feel like, you know, I'm 38 now. I am starting to notice, you know, more texture on my skin. I'm also starting to notice, you know, kind of my face gravity falling a little bit. And I don't know, I had a consultation. I wanted to see what's available, what options are out there. And one thing that she recommended was Lace MD, which is, like I said, a baby Fraxel. She explained it's like little downtime. You have redness that day apparently, but then the next day you're able to wear makeup and move on with your business. Where I guess with normal Fraxels, you're, you know, kind of like need to hide out for a couple of days. So if you've had one of those, please let me know your thoughts. Okay, moving right along to concealer. I'm gonna use the Pat McGrath concealer. This is my favorite, and I am shade LM9. And I'm gonna apply a little bit under the eyes. I always like to go right here too because I have a little bit of greenness there. I'm just gonna go in with my BK Beauty 108 brush to blend this in. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of foundation, but I'm gonna use something really natural and light. I'm using the Dior foundation. This is the Dior Backstage Face and Body foundation. And I'm going to use the smallest amount of this. It is a pretty lightweight and sheer foundation, and I'm only using it that much. And I'm gonna use my BK Beauty, what do I have here? Okay, I got my 101, and I'm just going to apply this mainly in the center of the face. And I'm really just gonna use the brush by pressing it onto the skin because these foundation and this tinted moisturizer is already so sheer, I don't really have to like do a lot of blending. The brush is gonna do all the work. All you need to do is press. And then take whatever's left and apply it to the forehead. Isn't this top cute? It's just a basic tee. I picked it up the other day. I ordered it online. I got it in an ivory shade too, and I love it. I just wanted to kind of update my wardrobe a little bit. Okay, that is really nice. I like this combination of the NARS and the Dior. The skin looks really well covered, very natural, a little bit of a glow, but not too much. I am gonna set it with a powder. Let's see, do I have a new powder? I don't have a new powder. So we are gonna dive into the Danessa Myricks loose powder. This is one of my favorite loose powders because it does a great job of just like softly minimizing shine without altering the look of the foundation and without adding any color to it. It's very, very finely milled, you guys. It doesn't have any pigment to it. It's completely translucent, and I'm gonna use a big fluffy brush. This is the BK Beauty 103. And I'm just going to softly and gently pat it to my skin. Very, very light. The more dense of a brush you use, the more product you're gonna apply. So I always say with powder, use a fluffy large brush, you guys, because if you use a dense brush, it's just gonna like mattify your face and it can lead to, you know, looking dry or accentuating texture, things like that. So you wanna just be very soft in your application. Okay, moving right along to brows. I'm just gonna fill my brows in with the NYX Precision Brow Pencil and I'll be right back. Okay, I am gonna comb a little brow gel in my brows. This is the Gimme Brow Gel. It's one of my favorites. It has little tiny fibers, so it adds volume to your brows if you have, are you like me where you don't really have hair? I have my brows microbladed, so it looks like I have more brow than I really actually do. I really, really like it. And I am the shade, of course it's completely worn off and I forget which shade I am. I'll have to look on the website, but I'll have it listed and linked down below, of course. Okay, moving right along, let's go ahead and move on to eyes. And I'm so excited about eyes because I am playing with the Colourpop Taupe palette. Now, I know that this is not a brand new palette, but this is part of a new like bundled collaboration with Colourpop and Ally Glines. So I purchased that and I did not own this palette, and this was a palette that had been on my wish list. I love this color story of just really beautiful, cool tone, neutral, taupe based shades. I just love it. You can see from my nail polish, I really love just that really beautiful kind of muted taupe look. So I am going to prime my eyes and I'm just using the Trish McEvoy eyeshadow primer. It's the Eye Base Essentials and I have the shade Bare. This is my favorite primer at the moment. I've been talking about it a lot, I know, but I like it because it really brightens the eyelids if you notice. I'm actually gonna take this little brush. I have this little e.l.f. brush. It has some pigment to it, so it really does like brighten and cancel out darkness on the lids. We all tend to have a little bit of, you know, discoloration on our eyelids. Our eyelids tend to be a little darker, and then of course after we have our concealer and our foundation on, it just is even more obvious that the lids are darker. So this just gives a little brighter base for the eyeshadow. So it's gonna give the shadow something to adhere to and intensify the pigment in the shadow. And of course, it's gonna keep the shadow on all day. Eyeshadow primer is kind of like a non-negotiable for me. I always apply it no matter what. I also like it because if you are working with a palette like this that doesn't quite have a brow highlight shade, you know, the only shade that's kind of light enough would be this one, but even that's a little too deep for me and it has way too much shimmer for under the brow. So when you're working with a palette that does not have a brow highlight shade, which, you know, we're seeing a lot of them that don't, I like this because it can be your highlight because it is brighter. So I'm actually going to, now that I realize that I don't have a highlight shade in there, I'm gonna put some of this underneath my brow and then I'm gonna take a brush and I'm gonna blend it out. I'm using the BK Beauty 206 brush. It has a little bit of shadow on it. I need to clean my brushes. I need to clean this whole makeup room. I know I've been saying that for weeks. It's just one of those like projects that I know I need like a good chunk of the day for, and I never can seem to find that time. So as you see, that's gonna lift and highlight the brow, so I don't even need a shadow now. Okay, so for the crease, I'm gonna take this brush. It's by Sigma. It is the E49 Medium Tapered Blending Brush. This is what it looks like. And I'm gonna work this shade, what shade are we gonna do? Let's do this one. We're gonna do this shade right here. It's called Rock Steady. I was gonna go in with this shade right here because they're kind of similar, but this leans a little more purple and this definitely leans a little more gray. So we're gonna start with the grayer one and I'm gonna work this into the crease. Ooh, wow, that had a lot more color payoff than I expected it to. Actually, that's not true. It looks like it has good color payoff, or like it looks like it's a rich color in the palette. This brush is more stiff and dense, so that's why I'm getting more payoff. That looks really nice. I like that. Okay, I need a fluffier brush. This is a little difficult to blend because it's almost too dense. Great for creating definition and applying color like it just did, but I want something that's gonna sheer it out a little bit. So I'm taking the BK Beauty 206 brush and we're gonna use this one now. And I'm basically just taking the tip of the brush and I'm working that into the crease. This isn't really a crease brush, but you can totally, you know, shift it and move it to make it work for the crease. Okay, then I'm gonna so as you can see, I wanna show you guys. So I'm using the tip of the brush and I'm really like creating that crease. Then I'm gonna turn it so now that it's wider, and the widest tip is going to blend that out. Do you see what I did there? Okay, that's nice. And then I'm using the side of the brush to kind of pull that color onto the lid. Okay, that is beautiful. That is one shade. I love that. Okay, let's actually, I'm gonna go back to the Sigma brush and I'm gonna use that, I'm gonna apply the other side. The reason I'm going back to the Sigma brush is because it does have a really nice pointy, like tapered tip. So it gives you really good control over where you apply it, more so than the 206 brush. So I'm gonna apply the product with this just to get the foundation down of the look. And then we'll go back with the 206 to like blend it out, soften it out, and kind of finish it up. Okay. Next, we're gonna take the 206 again and just kind of soften the edges. The 206 is a great kind of like multitasking one and done brush. If you're someone that doesn't really do complicated eyeshadow looks, or you don't use a lot of eyeshadows, you just use one or two colors, and you just want one brush to do it all, I would recommend this one. It kind of does everything like well enough. You know what I mean? Like it's not the perfect crease brush, it's not the perfect lid shader brush, but it works to do both well enough, if that makes sense. It's a great all over brush too. I'll even use this sometimes for concealers when I'm in a pinch. Okay, that's pretty. Very, very cool tone gray, smoky vibes going on here. Okay, next I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna grab this shade right here. It's Python, so it's these shades similar to what we just used, but it's got more purple to it. And I'm gonna take the BK Beauty 202 brush and I'm gonna kind of work this into the crease and the lid just to bring some of that purple tones to the look. And I'm using the side of the 202 brush. If you notice, I'm really loading up the side of the brush, not the tip side. And I'm using that to like press it onto the lid. This is gonna give a really pretty sheer wash of color. And then you can use the tip to continue to kind of blend out that crease. Okay, then I'm gonna take my 202 brush and, my 201 brush. And I don't have any product on this brush. I'm really just using this to soften everything. That Sigma brush did a great job of like getting, you know, a lot of color on the lid, but I want to soften things up a bit. I really want this like hazy, diffused look. Perfect. Okay, then next we're gonna go onto the lid and let's see, I wanna use one of these middle shades here. I can't figure out which one I wanna do. Okay, I'm gonna do the middle one. It's called Snake Eyes. This is how the shades swatch on my hand. Really beautiful, very light reflective. I think you can see a good job of the color here, but it's definitely gonna look lighter because I do have my ring light on and this has so much shimmer that it's reflecting light. So you're seeing more shimmer than you are color. But to give you an idea, this is like a real pretty kind of like pale silvery gold. And the middle one is more of like a taupey lilac. And then the other one here is more of like a good like shimmery gray kind of silver shade. Okay, so we are gonna load up the 203 brush and I'm gonna pick up Snake Eyes with this brush. And we're gonna pack this onto the lid. I am kind of like, you know, making sure any fallout comes off by tapping my brush on my finger. Avoid tapping it on like plastic products because you'll dent up the brush or the ferrule. And I'm just gonna like pack this onto the lid. Okay, and that goes on really nicely. Sometimes these types of shades I find don't apply well with a brush. They apply better with your finger, but this one actually applies really nicely with a brush, you guys. Okay, I do wanna deepen the outer corner up a little bit. This is really beautiful. Certainly I could pop on eyeliner and lashes and be done, or mascara, but I wanna glam this up a little bit and I wanna play with more colors from this palette. So I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It's the deepest matte shade, and I'm gonna load up the 203 brush. I'm gonna use this brush to apply the color where I want it, and then I'm gonna go back and blend it with a blending brush. Perfect. Then I'm gonna go back with my 202, and we are just gonna blend back and forth to soften that and make it blend with the other shades. So you can see the 203 does a great job of like packing that product on where you want it, and then I'm using the side of the 202 to blend it out. You don't want to blend too much because you definitely want to have that, I really want to have that, you know, intensity of darkness right on the outer corner. I don't want to bring it too far over, but of course I want the edges to be soft and just work well with the other shadows. And now I'm just kind of going back, now that I have both of them to a good place, I'm going back and just evening things out, making sure everything is nice and even, or as even as can be. My eyes are different shapes and different sizes, so, you know, there's only so much you can do. I'm gonna apply a little bit of black liner with this, and I'm just using the KVD Beauty in Trooper Black. And I'm gonna tight line my upper lash line. I don't have black, so I'm grabbed the darkest brown that I could find. This is Fenty Beauty, and the shade is, what is this shade? Puppy Eyes. Okay, so actually this is not the darkest brown that I have. This is more of like a bronzy shade, but better than nothing. All right, moving right along. I'm gonna be using the Colourpop Cream Gel Eyeliner. This is also part of the Eyeliner collaboration, or bundle collaboration. This is the shade Honey Dude. So it's a brightening pencil. This is what it looks like. It's got a nice level of like peach to it, so it's not gonna look too stark white. I love doing this. This is probably my favorite little makeup hack, just to make your eyes look bigger, brighter. It makes such a difference. I will say that when you do this, you do want to make sure that you are lining your lower lash line with something a little darker though. It doesn't have to be, you know, black, of course. In fact, I don't recommend using black on your lower lash line, but you do want to line your lower lashes. You don't want to just leave it light, because sometimes that can look a little strange. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to use the same Fenty pencil in Puppy Eyes, and we're going to run this across the lower lash line from the outer corner to almost all the way over. I like to use a pencil or something that has a little bit of sparkle to it on the lower lash line. It just adds a little softness to the liner, which is nice. And then I'm gonna go in and I'm going to take a little bit of shadow. And I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's called Pebble Beach. And I'm gonna take the MAC 242 brush. It's just got a nice flat pointy tip. I can't find my 204 brush. I thought I had it, but I don't have it here. And I'm just gonna run this over. Okay, that's too light. That's not gonna work. I'm actually gonna go in with, let's go in with Python again. And I'm gonna run it over the liner. Kind of just extends that smoky diffusion from the crease underneath the lash line. Really pretty. Okay, I'm really loving this combination of skin, you guys. It looks so good and so natural and good coverage. I'm impressed. I like that. Okay, next I'm gonna move on to lashes. I'm gonna curl my lashes first, and then I'm gonna apply a concealer that I picked up, also part of the Eyeliner and Colourpop collaboration. It's the volumizing mascara from Colourpop, and I haven't tried this yet. It'll be the first time that I try it, so excited about that. I am going to curl them and apply some lash primer, and I have the Lancome lash primer here in front of me. I love the eyeshadow. I really, really love the shadow. I like the color story of this palette, and the shades really blend nicely together. I really like that. Okay, I'm gonna apply a little bit of primer. I also love the Dior lash primer that I've been using for years. This is very similar. I do think this is a little more thickening than the Dior, for sure. Next, I'm gonna go in with this mascara. So excited. I always love trying new mascaras. Okay, this is the, oh, brownie points. Is it brown? Oh, it is brown. Huh, this is what the brush looks like. So it has a little bit of a curve. You can see that it's a little more narrow in the center. So that's probably gonna help give some curl to the lash. I'm going to start at the base of my lashes and really kind of close my eyes, wiggle it in there so that I get the most product deposited at the base and root of my lashes, and then I'll work it up. Mascara is so satisfying or so gratifying. You know, you apply it and it just makes such a difference. Okay, that's nice. So it's giving me some length and volume, but not too much volume. It's still keeping the lashes very separated, but still giving me volume. Where did the base go? Okay, here we go. I was like, my desk is such a mess. Let's go ahead and dip back in and do a second coat. Ooh, okay, that is good. That is good. And even though it's brown, it's dark enough for me. I was a little concerned when I opened it and I saw that it was brown. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to wear brown mascara, but this works. This is dark. Okay, that looks good, you guys. That looks really good. Good length, good volume, good separation. And I put a couple of coats on and it didn't build up or clump together or get too thick. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Very pretty. This is a very beautiful lash look. Okay, I love that. Good, good mascara. I'm gonna pick this up in black for sure. Okay, moving right along for cheeks. What are we gonna use here? What are we gonna use? I have a couple of things. I do wanna use the Ofra and Samantha March collaboration, the Life's a Draft palette. I wanna use the bronzer in this palette. It's really beautiful. I did do a video that I'll link down below where I use this, you know, all of this palette. But for today, we're just gonna use the bronzer, and I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 103 brush, and we are going to just kind of warm up the face. I like this bronzer a lot. It's very soft, it's very warm, it's very perfect for summertime. I know we're not quite in summer yet, but I don't know, when we hit March or April in Austin, I feel like it's summer, even though it's not that hot. I get all the summery clothes out. So nice. Okay, I'm gonna run that on my forehead. So for blush, I'm using this new palette by NARS. This is the Uninhibited Blush Duo in the shade Tinted and Deep Throat. I wish they'd come up with other names. But this is Tinted. It's a really beautiful, oh, that is gorgeous. Okay, that is gorgeous. It's a little too shimmery for my cheeks, I feel like, but that is such a pretty highlight. It's hard to see right here, I know, with all the lights. It is so beautiful. I feel like NARS, the formula of their powders and their blush and their shadows have been so good lately. This will be beautiful on the eyes. I'm excited to try this on the eyes, but I am gonna go in here with the blush, and I'm just gonna take the BK Beauty 108 brush and smile and apply a little bit of that pink on my cheeks. I love the packaging of this. It's so nice. Okay, this is such a good shade. It can be built to give you some good color like I am, especially because I'm using a smaller, more dense brush, but you can also get a lighter sheer application. I'm gonna go back with the 103 now and kind of soften it a little bit. So pretty. It has a slight sheen to the skin, but nothing too shimmery at all. Okay, for lips, I'm gonna be applying a new lipstick that came out with the House of Solange and Disney collaboration. And I wanna show you first the packaging. One thing, House of Solange, I always say Solange, it's wrong. House of Sillage, okay? Sorry, you guys, I know I'm about to get a lot of comments about that. House of Sillage has some of the most beautiful like lipstick packaging. It is truly like a special, unique collector's piece, I believe. Yes, they can be, you know, it's definitely a luxury splurge. I get it, you guys. I totally get it. This was sent to me in PR, the Disney collection, and I found some products that I really enjoy. There's a blush duo that I love in there. This is what the lipstick packaging looks like. So you get this empty lipstick case, and then you can get the lipstick refills to, oh, listen to that. I love that. I love that. It's a really interesting lipstick component. I like that. Okay, and then I picked the shade Playful Nude to apply. So this is the refill that goes into the lipstick bullet. So you actually just, it comes like this, you know, basic kind of packaging. You take the lipstick out, and then you can insert it into this gorgeous packaging. Now you have your beautiful lipstick. And of course you can take this out and put other House of Sillage lipstick bullets in there. I'm gonna apply this first, and then I'll probably go back with the lip liner to add more definition to the lips. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, this comes off much pinker than it looks, you guys. Look at it in the bullet. When I opened this, I thought it was gonna be like definitely more peachy or brown, but on the lips, it's actually pretty nude. Let me swatch this for you guys. Wow, okay. I feel like it swatches completely different than it looks. Does it not? But I love it. I love this. I was actually thinking I was gonna apply a lip liner that was more pink to give me more pink color, but I don't need to. This is gorgeous. Ooh, I love this. Okay, this lipstick color is just perfection. It is perfection. I love that. Oh my gosh, so excited about that. I opened it and I was like, oh, it's a brown lipstick, but no, this is perfection. I love everything. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this little kind of try new makeup, get ready with me tutorial. Really found some products that I love. I really want to give a shout out to this NARS Tinted Moisturizer. It is so good, you guys. For a tinted moisturizer, I feel like a tinted moisturizer is a little misleading because it does give some pretty decent coverage, definitely more than any other tinted moisturizer that I've used. You can wear it alone and then mixed with a very natural foundation. This is the best combo. Honestly, this is the first time I've ever used these two together, and I love it. It looks so good. It looks like a foundation. I mean, I know I did use the foundation, but I used such a small amount of this, and it looks so good. I'm loving it. So that's definitely a call out. Also, I really like this palette from Tarte, the That's Taupe. Such beautiful color combination. I love that it's like really leaning cool tone. I feel like we see a lot of warm tone palettes out there. And this is, you know, this is different. It's unique. It's special. And I love the look that I created. So, and then of course, I think the next call out for definitely, if I had to pick 3 top products, it would be that palette, it would be the NARS, and then it would be this House of Sillage lipstick, you guys. It is, oh, it is so good. Again, the shade name is Playful Nude. I love this. I love it. So huge thanks to them for sending this over. And then of course you guys know that I'm loving the Samantha March Life's a Draft palette. I already did a full dedicated video to this that I'll link down below. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you picked up any tips or tricks, or if you have any questions in the comment section below. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.